Well, you'd have seen, it was a little while back, if I trawl through YouTube and look at all the other people doing the same sort of thing as I'm doing. Basically to see if I can nick any ideas, but when I'm doing that, as you will have seen a little while ago, occasionally I spot somebody handing out what I believe is misinformation. Now I did a thing a little while back about Triumph Bonneville based bikes. That's the Triumph Twins, and exploding gearboxes, which was an absolute complete myth, and I pointed out that it's actually the selector shaft, the mechanism on the end of the selector shaft, that is the issue. So if I see something that's inaccurate, I'll speak up. Well, I'm going to be a bit more controversial this time. This is a whole different kettle of kip as this one, and it's aimed at our friends across the pond and their weird way of sort of trying to be funny, accurate and polite all at once. Something only the Americans can do. And anyway, it pertains to there's some woman, dude on a motorbike, and she was riding a Janus. Probably that's got to be one of the most unfortunate motorcycle names ever. We don't get them in the UK. They're kind of modern, brand new flat tank replicas with Earl's leading link type forks. And a Chinese Honda based engine. Anyway, this dude on a motorbike, bird, she was riding it along and she got herself into a tank slapper and threw it up the road and bruised her knee, and there was an awful lot of drama and you know, all the kind of shit that happens, can only happen in America. Anyway, there's been a lot of reactions to it in America of varying kinds. She was kind of blaming lack of experience and road surface on it. There's another bloke who's Mr. Clickbait, what's his name, Gammy Boob or something. He's got a real downer on those bikes, on the old Januses, and he's proper knocking the bike. There were owners of similar bikes saying, no, it's not the bike, it was the road surface. I mean, everyone had an opinion, which of course everyone does have an opinion, that's fair enough, that's how it happens. And so because the internet, the YouTube was so full of all of this at the time, normally I kind of avoid a lot of the American stuff. There's some that's pretty good, but a lot of it's just like drama, you know, and that's why I normally avoid, don't even bother watching it. But on this occasion I kind of got sucked in, and I watched a video of her throwing this bike up the road, and there were a couple of things that the instruments on these bikes is it's like a back to front version of what I've got. I've got an analog speedometer and a digital tachometer. Well, that thing had an analog tachometer and a digital speedometer. Now it's a small capacity bike, so she wasn't going outrageously fast, but if you look at the video, the rev counter is fluctuating between high and higher in the rev range. So she was on it, which, like I say, for a small capacity bike is not particularly quick in the mile per hour stakes, but the engine was up there. And the other thing, and this is the bit I find really, really strange. Now, bear in mind, she's a small woman, not very tall. Now that generally means they're going to have small feet, small hands, small all over. I could take that further, but it's not that kind of channel. But if you look at the film, she's got I don't know whether it's a body mounted camera or a helmet mounted camera, but you can see her hands, and both of her hands, which are going to be smaller than mine. I mean, I've just got average normal sized hands, but both of her hands are like that, like halfway down the grip. Now that means if I rode like that, I'd have to keep moving my hand around, sliding my hand up and down the bar to reach the horn, main beam switch, indicators and the like. And I don't know about, I mean, I like to, my hands are on the grips. My hands are big enough that they do actually fill the grips. And another thing was, the road surface was kind of lined, in the direction of travel. Now that's going to make you sway around and that's going to affect your direction to a degree. It's going to make you sort of swerve and sway like, all over the road like this, only without the lean. Now we have joints and weird road surfaces in the UK, and we get it occasionally as well. And also, of course, dodging service covers, power, drainage, stuff like that. We tend to have to dance around all over the road anyway to avoid running over bloody great big drain covers and bumps and lumps and potholes and what have you. Now I'm not so sure, like I say, I have no experience of these bikes, we don't get them in the UK, but I think that it was a combination of a lot of the above things. I think road surface to a degree, I think lack of experience. I think that was probably quite a big one. But as a good film, I believe it's a Dunlop film on YouTube, a Dunlop promotional film, and it highlights speed wobble. And not modern bikes, not so much, but I mean, back in the day, I can remember suffering from it on some bikes. Earlier Japanese big super bikes, some of them were prone to it. I did actually, when I changed wheel size on this bike and started messing with the geometry, I didn't get a proper tank slapper. I never got it that bad, but I did get ever such a slight weave when cornering, so I actually put a steering damper on. I'm going to lengthen the forks. return my geometry to the standard geometry, so the wheelbase and all the angles will be back to where they should be, just a bit higher up. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to actually ditch the steering damper. But yeah, she didn't, the cure for it, and this, I mean, back when I started riding bikes, this was, yeah, when I started riding bikes, this was a pretty, I think we got a bit of a flood here from yesterday. Yeah, back when I started riding bikes, this was quite a well-known. You alright?
We're not going to get through that, it's fucking deep, you said.
How the bloody hell, we'll have to go through a console, won't we? Yeah. Yeah, where was I? So yeah, it was quite a well-known fact back in the day. That if you got a wobble on, lean forwards and down. Get your weight forwards towards the steering and get it low, and gently ease off on the power. So in other words, gently slow down. Well, I don't think she did any of them, so I'm going to put it down to lack of experience. And a bit of bad luck. Now, it might have had something to do with the thing being a hardtail. So no rear suspension, that may have had some effect on it. Ooh. Don't know where that comes out. So, yeah, it wasn't so much the fact that it happened. I mean, she survived it, she banged her knee. It didn't look like she damaged the bike that much either. Yeah, she banged her knee, didn't appear to do a huge amount of damage to the bike. Just all the drama happened afterwards, really. But it was more, the reason I wanted to highlight it was more all the reactions to it and how varied they were. So needless to say, now that it's all settled down, I can go back to not having to watch it. Oh yeah, I know where I am, I think. Yeah, that just cut out the flood.